Greetings Rumble fans, my name is Nox and I like to specialise in strategic games, and Warcraft Rumble has indeed perked my interest. Now, those of you who have seen me before know I'm better known for my videos on Tacticus, but I'm hoping to spread my wings into Warcraft Rumble. This game is all about collecting your miniatures and sending them into battle against the enemy, whether that is PvE or PvP. Now, there's a lot of conversation whether you can do this without the PvP part, but I truly believe that it is a fundamental part of the game to help get your miniatures leveled up. If we have a quick look here, you can see I've managed to get to Dust Wallow Marsh, where I can fight these PvE enemies. To do that, I need to create an army, and here I've got Grommash, who is my leader, and 6 other units to help me in the battle. As the game starts and continues, you are given gold, which you can use to summon any of your creatures. And there are nice little gold mines on the battlefield as well, where you can mine and collect that all-important gold to try and overwhelm your enemy. There is plenty to do in PvE, whether you're progressing the campaign, doing quests to level up your miniatures, or even attacking dungeons, and in the future, even raids to get your miniatures leveled up and improve your army as a whole. In PvP, you are put into brackets. Now, the important thing to note here is that if your general is below 1,000 honour, then the level cap of all the miniatures will be 1. If he's below 2,000, level cap will be 3, and if he's below 3,000, the level cap is 5. So if you look here, I've got Rend Blackhand. He is above 1,000 honour, and therefore the level cap of him and all the troops that he has at his command will be level 3, whereas my other 2 is still below 1,000 and therefore will be only level 1. The map and guard towers and rules for the map change every week or so. So there's not really a chance of getting bored with what's happening, because if you do, well, just wait until the rule set changes. And whether you're doing PvE or PvP, you'll light up these 3 boxes, which will get you much needed resources again to improve your miniatures. And of course, we have the guilds. And the more that your guild cooperates with the various factions, the more points you get. And again, there's more things to collect, such as Sylvanas, who is a new leader for the undead faction. We've mentioned gold a lot as well. So in the store, this is the grid. I'm sure it stands for something very Warcrafty, but the important thing is you buy your minis from here, and it is important that you buy any miniatures that you don't have first, because that will increase your collection level, and as your collection level increases, the amount of experience that your units get also increase. So make sure you get all those units first before ploughing completely into the one unit you like. To be honest, I find having a wide variety of miniatures available at a decent level is much better, because many of the PvE enemies do need a specific strategy to defeat them. And this brings me to my first gripe. Every time you want to change your army, you have to go through the only way possible, which is clicking on the army button below, finding your leader, and then modifying the army. You can't do it as you choose to do a level, or even when you try and retry a level, which would be a great quality of life update that they could do in the future. So enough of me talking about the game. How does it actually work? Let's say I'm going to do the quest for the Frostwolf Shaman. You start off by being able to view the map that you're going to fight, and you can click on any of the enemies, which will tell you what they do, or indeed the treasure chests, or indeed anything on the battlefield at all. And it'll let you know what it does. And as for the battlefield, you will need to scroll around unless you're on a tablet device. When you click start, the game begins, and you use your currency at the bottom to start placing your miniatures. Now, these banshees will take control of one of my miniatures, and now it's under the enemy's control. You can use the kobolds here to go and mine the mines, but this guy is one of the enemies and he's going to attack him. Bear in mind, in many cases, the AI does have what some would call an unfair advantage to begin with, But personally, I think this is just levelling the battlefield because, let's be honest, not many AIs are better than a human player when it comes to many of these games. Most characters will need to be placed within the confines of the blue areas that are seen next to the towers. There are some, like this gnomish safe pilot, I believe they're called, who can land anywhere on the battlefield. And the beauty of this is there is a rock, paper, scissors in effect in the game, where the melee will beat the ranged troops will beat the flying, and the flying troops will beat the melee. But not only that, you have other options as well, such as squads and single target damage and AoE damage, all of which are good against various other types as well. On top of that, you have different types of damage from physical to elemental. It is all quite an interesting way to make sure everything is staying as interesting as possible as you play the games. And then when you finally defeat the boss, you get a lovely victory screen. And one at random will get some experience. And in this case, it is exactly the same that I chose for the quest as well, where they'll get even more experience to help level them up. And if that wasn't enough to keep you interested, every single miniature has a number of talents, which are unlocked based on how many times you've actually bought the miniature. And the talents, of course, do different things. Like in here, the Pyromancer will deal triple damage on the first attack that this miniature does. The second one is Conflagrate, where splash area is doubled. And the last one is a Blaze of Glory, where damage and burn nearby enemies on its death. Now, the important thing to note here is you can only have one talent active at any one time. And as soon as you unlock one talent, you won't be able to unlock another until you get to a specific rarity of the miniature. So I will be doing more videos on this game, but this was just my brief overlook into it. And I think if you're watching this and you haven't given it a go, you owe it to yourself to at least have one go at this game. This has been Nox, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield.